All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I've been going over the Quackit, Quackit.com Bootstrap 4 tutorial. And I am more than halfway through now, and it's time to go in and start talking about alerts. In this section, I will talk about alerts, modal, progress bars, and media objects. All right, as it says, alerts allow you to display pre-styled alerts and messages for common user interactions. You'll notice that in here, that as we look at these, they're going to be at least somewhat, again, color coordinated as we've seen before. Let's keep our Jumbotron. We don't have to, but let's just do it anyway. All right. Page is looking a little bit more like a real page then, I think. So you can see that, again, they are color coordinated. Green for success, blue for the information, not a warning, not a danger, but just for info. The kind of tannish for warning, and the reddish for an alert. These are set to default to be basically the full screen size, as you can see. Okay. There's dismissible alerts, and by putting dismissible on there, as you can see, it just means that you've got the X that's there. So if we add the alert dismissible onto each one of these, which we should be able to do without any kind of problems. And then we come back to our page again, and we refresh, and none of it worked. Thought that was all that it was. Let's just try the first one here. Oh, we need the role. So role equal. So let's put this whole thing in there. So you create dismissible alerts by adding Bootstrap's alert dismissible class along with a close button, which I didn't do. All right, so I should be able to come back in here, grab this one. In fact, let's just put all of that text in there. Now it's become a little bit of a quest here, so we've got that, and we could put in, if we wanted to, we could put in here similar ones for in here. All right, not just the classes alert dismissible. We would want this to be this here to say success. This one would say info. This one would say warning. This one would say, oops, it's role equal warning. And this one would say danger. All right. Then I would get rid of all of the messages that come after that. And replace each one of them with a button. Instead of congratulations, you have successfully tied your shoelace, we might say something like, this is a success alert. this, this is an info alert. Hopefully I didn't goof this up, but we'll see. This is a warning alert, and this is a danger alert. Again, how many times have you heard me say this throughout these lectures? That the way you learn this stuff is to grab some code and start making modifications to it. All right, that one looks wrong. Oh, I think I've just got this in there twice. I can get rid of that one. So there's success, info, warning, and danger. So the thing about tying your shoelace, I could remove that. Wherever it is. I guess I've repeated it, so I don't need that. So there we've got the success, the info, the warning, and the danger, and all of them are able to be closed by just clicking. Okay? All right. You can fade. So if you say alert dismissible, fade show, you give a slight fading effect, which most people, at least, most people tend to think that that looks a little bit more, it looks a little bit more professional. All right. So let's grab that one. And we'll put that one on top. It's very similar to the one we had in there before. And let's see what this looks like when we run it. Again, be watching right at the top here. You may not have even noticed it, how it faded when we closed it. All right. You can have alerts with hyperlinks. See that? If indeed that's what you want to do. And that's pretty much it for alerts. Let's jump into modals. All right, before I do, I want to close this. This is the last presentation that I just did. And I didn't want to do that. Sorry, give me a second here. I'm going to pause and get back. All right, we're back. The second part of our presentation here then will be on modals. Remember, modal is something that comes up, and with a true modal, you have to act on whatever it is. You can't just close something. You have to act on it. All right, so we'll take a look at the example here. We can now, we'll keep our Jumbotron, but we'll remove all these alerts that we created in the last lesson. And we'll replace them with our modal stuff. All right, click me. There you go. Now notice we've got an X here, we've got the words flip-flop here, a type of open-toed sandal, and a close button. All right. We could keep clicking it, it would keep bringing that up again, etc. And I think we can either close here or we can close here. All right, so let's look at the magic, so to speak, that makes that happen. All right. The data toggle was set to modal. The target was set to pound or ID of flip-flop, and it's got click me. Okay, and if we look at what's here, there's the ID of flip-flop. We said we wanted the modal to fade. It was a dialog. You can see all the different stuff here that we have to add in order for this to work. So to create a modal, you use the modal class along with the various other modal classes to define each section of the modal. Modals have a default size of medium, but you can make them small or large as desired. There's a smaller one. And I guess they don't, there's a larger one. There's a larger one. All right. You can remove the fade effect to get rid of the fade in, fade out. Now, some people like that, some people don't. Notice how boom, it's there, and boom, it's gone. All right. So that is it for talking modals. Let's jump into progress bars. See where we are on our list here. We've got, again, alerts, modals, progress bars, and media objects. All right, so next is the progress bar. As it says, the progress bar provides graphical feedback on the progress of something. So let's say, for example, you were having some kind of a fundraiser and you wanted to continuously let people know how close you are or were with your goals. I know I've been involved in a few Kickstarter projects, and a lot of times what they'll say, sometimes they use progress bars, sometimes they'll say what their goal is and how much they've achieved so far. They may even have some JavaScript calculated what the percentage is, but most people would rather see something that's more graphical. So as mentioned, Bootstrap provides a component for displaying progress bars on a website. All right, they're used to provide feedback to the user on what your progress is. Here's a simple one that is 75%. Again, I can come in here now and remove all this modal stuff that we just put in. So we've got a progress bar. All right. We've got a div with a class of progress bar, then a role of progress bar, and you can see a style where we put the width. Now they made it 75, let's make it 45 so it looks just under half. All right, and its current value, well, you'd probably want that, if it was measuring something, if it was out of 100, you'd want that to be 45. And you're saying here that this is the range, a low of 0 and a high of 100. So this will look a little bit different when we run it, because it's at 45%, so it's just around half. Okay? All right. Hopefully that makes some sense to you. Because again, as most of the stuff that we've seen in here, it's fairly intuitive. You can again work with the contextual classes so that you can give the different progress bars different colors. I believe you can also go in and you can use CSS and make even different colors. You can add striping with the progress bar striped class that you add. Again, you can see that here. Let's use the danger. So we're going to add this to the example that we currently have right here. I think I added it to the right one. We're going to know very quickly. Okay. All right. Going onward. You can animate the stripes. So you can see it looks like it's actually moving now. So I just have to add the progress bar animated to our end here. This is getting pretty big. I believe I see no reason why you couldn't put this on multiple lines as well. And again, if we take a look at our example, you notice it now looks animated. That's it for modals, media objects. As it says, float media to the left or right of content using the media object component. Provides an easy way to align text and media objects when presenting them alongside of one another. It allows you to quickly float media to the left or right of content, useful for things like blog comments, tweets, etc. So maybe you wanted a blog or a tweet here and you wanted the person's face to be shown there as an example. To use the media object component, as it says here, you need to apply a class for the outer container as well as separate classes to the media and to the text. So the outer container, as mentioned, you wrap the whole thing in a div and give it the media class. The object, no special class is needed. Just insert into the HTML where you need it. The body, you apply the media body class to the text as parent, text parents div, or whatever element. In margins, you use a Bootstrap spacing utility so that it looks as as professional as possible. Okay. All right, let's grab this, but we'll do this a little different than they've done it in here because with what they have, remember we don't have those pictures. At least I don't think we do. So we will again come back, and now we don't need our progress bar stuff anymore. So let's change this to images. And I think we had grads1.jpg. And I think we also had images. And I think we had a grads2. And that was a ping, I believe. Now, I could be wrong on those, but we'll find out very fast. Okay. Doesn't like that one, but it's no biggie. At least you saw how that one worked. It says there it's grads2.ping. So either I typed it in wrong or something else is goofed up. Images grads2.ping. Well, let's see just for the heck of it if we can try grads3.jpg. Well, it definitely doesn't like something I'm doing in here. Don't need the slash. I think that's what it was. Let's try that again with the 2.ping. And there we got it. All right, so you see a couple of examples there. Not great ones, but you see them. Horizontal alignment, you can swap the position. So in other words, you can have the stuff appear to the right. Okay. And again, how are we doing that? We can use the same examples that we just had. And replace the pictures accordingly. With a 2. All right, and then remove all of this stuff. And you see how the stuff is moved over. Okay? All right. Vertical alignment, so you can align stuff in the middle, this is, we're talking about the text. You can align it in the middle, you can align it to the top or the bottom. You can place more than one image into a media block. So if I wanted both of those in there, both those grad pictures, I'm not going to use those because here they're using almost thumbnails. All right. I guess it gives me a chance to also mention this to you. It's a little off subject, but just so you see it. You can see my pictures here. All right. There is a site, and I think I've mentioned this in previous lectures, but I'm going to say it again now. I'm going to go out to makeathumbnail.com. And I'm going to choose my file. I'm going to grab my Bootstrap images, and we'll grab grads 1 here, and we'll make it a 100 by 100 thumbnail. It throws it out on the internet for you. So I can go out there, grab it, save it to my images directory. And typically, kind of a standard practice, I'm going to call this grads1-tn for thumbnail. All right, so now that's there. And let's grab number 2 also. So we've grabbed both a JPEG and a PNG. And just for completeness sake, I'm going to also do the last one. Didn't have to do any of these, but like I said, at least I've done them now. So all right. Now, if we were to look at the example where they mention multiple ones here. All right, I'm going to put this in, but I'll put in mine in here instead of what they have. That is everything, except I've got to change these. So this will be images / grads1-tn.jpg. Let me just copy this. Remove the one they put in. And we'll have grads2, 2. And that was a PNG. And we'll have grads 3, which was also a JPEG. Let's see if this works, and we'll have all 3 of our pictures in there. And they're there. Okay. You can left and right align. Okay. Notice as it says here, you can have a media list where you put a whole bunch of these in there. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I believe we're done. Now, in this particular example, we talked about alerts, we talked about modal, we talked about progress bars, and we talked about media objects. When we come back, we've got list groups, cards, responsive embed, and carousel, and then we'll do our last lecture, our video. So I'll be back with those shortly.